One of the biggest murder trials in Florida's history.
She accepts no responsibility.
I'm just one of the unfortunate idiots who admitted that they lied.
The fact that she tried to cover it up still makes her guilty.
Why did she not come clean initially?
What caused her death? Was it accidental or was it intentional?
Without proof that Caylee was murdered, it could be much tougher for prosecutors to get the conviction.
Somewhere out there, the devil is dancing tonight.
Casey Anthony, a young party-hard mother from Florida, became the subject of a case so intense that years later, she still can't escape her darkest demons.
If you search for the most hated mom in America, one name is still sure to pop up: Casey Anthony.
The chaos began when Casey's nearly 3-year-old daughter, Caylee Mary Anthony, disappeared.
She's missing. Why would somebody have Caylee? I'm shocked.
Casey lived with her parents, Cindy and George, and they doted on their granddaughter.
But the good times were about to end when Casey told her parents she was taking Caylee with her as she traveled between jobs in Jacksonville and Tampa for a week.
More than a week passed, and Casey's parents grew suspicious.
I said, "Where have you been and where's Caylee?" She says, "Well, Kaylee's at the nanny, Zanny the nanny." I asked Casey, I said, "Let's go to Zanny's, so I want to pick up Caylee. I haven't seen her in a month."
Cindy and George started to lose patience.
And I said, "And every time I talked to you on the phone this last month, there's an excuse why I can't talk to Caylee. I want to see her."
George learned that Casey's car had been impounded, and when he went to pick it up, he noticed something strange.
Man, this car really stinks. You recognize that smell as that of a dead body.
It was then that his wife contacted the authorities.
911, what's your emergency? I found out my granddaughter has been taken. She has been missing for a month. Her mother finally admitted that she's been missing.
An investigation into the toddler's disappearance had launched. Detectives quickly discovered that Casey had been busy partying for 31 days straight.
She was supposed to be searching for the kid, not going out and getting drunk.
She even got a strange tattoo during that time.
Bella Vita, Italian for good life.
She was in there with that kid so much, the first thing I asked her was, where was the kid at? Without batting an eye, she was with the nanny.
When Casey finally spoke to officials, she set off even more alarms.
My daughter's been missing for the last 31 days.
Why are you calling now? Why didn't you call 31 days ago?
I've been looking for her and have gone through other resources to try to find her.
Casey continued to lie about Caylee's disappearance.
Casey told police the last time she saw her daughter was when she dropped Caylee off at the nanny's. Authorities say Casey made up Zanny the nanny.
She also claimed that she'd been busy working at Universal Studios in the previous weeks, when in truth, she had been fired from that job years ago. Discovering her web of lies, police arrested her.
Casey is officially charged with Caylee's death, even though the little girl is still missing.
Months later, a child's skeletal remains were discovered in a trash bag not far from the Anthony family home. The medical examiner confirmed everyone's worst fears. The body belonged to Caylee.
8 days later, Caylee's death is ruled a homicide.
Bottom line is, folks, no child should have to go through this.
The murder trial began, and its shocking results caused a media uproar.
The jury is being picked for one of the biggest murder trials in Florida's history.
Based on Casey's suspicious behavior, many thought a guilty verdict was imminent.
Prosecutors announced they will seek the death penalty against her.
The jury made their decision, and Casey faced jail time for her lies alone.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of providing false information to a law enforcement officer.
And the consequences ended there.
To the charge of first-degree murder, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty.
The public was outraged by the lack of justice.
There's no dispute many people still believe Casey killed her,
with many comparing the verdict to the O.J. Simpson case. After serving minimal time, Casey was able to go free, and to this day claims she has no idea what happened to Caylee.
To your understanding, how did she die?
I don't know. Everyone else has their theories. I don't know.
These days, she tries to live a normal life, but trouble seems to follow her everywhere she goes.
Can I file an incident report? Sure, what happened? So I'm still wet. I got a drink thrown at me. This girl has been harassing me for a while. I have her cell phone number.
Was Casey responsible for her daughter's death? Or do you think people should just leave her alone?